Hey, welcome to Watermelon Parade. Let's have some fun. So, today I'm making a speed paint because I wasn't really quite sure what to do for my first video. And I decided to make it a cute girl with, pastel colors because, that's my jam. And so right now I'm working on the sketch stage and trying to decide, where everything goes, obviously. I had a character that I had made earlier that had a similar sort of idea of like a Pegasus or what was it? Alicorn? Yeah, so an alicorn. Is it alicorn? Okay. Anyway, at first I was trying to go for a different hairstyle, but I just liked the design I made earlier anyway, so why not use her? So I decided to go full hog into that. But obviously, I kind of forgot her ears. At this point anyway, I'm not using any reference of the previous picture because I guess I was a bit too lazy to go grab my sketchbook and find where her design was, so it was pretty much all from memory. I'm starting the line art and it's hitting the point where I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. I haven't drawn digitally in a while since I've had some tablet problems and computer problems and a whole lot of all that sort of problems. But I don't like line arting, which is funny because when I'm doing it traditionally, I'm fine, but digitally line art drives me up a wall. I try and use a brush with a texture I like to help me get through it because I don't like how clean it looks, I guess. Not that this line art is clean by any means. Also, I'm kind of regretting not spending a bit longer on the sketch stage because once I get to the hands and other places that I didn't define well, I'm a bit troubled. It's funny because I've never really had any sort of unicorn Pegasus sort of phase when I was younger, except for Sailor Moon. I really liked Helios, but that's besides the point. The aesthetic has just really grown on me in recent years until I was just at the store the other day looking at this unicorn squishy and just being like, I feel like I'm like 9 years old and this is my entire life. And so I just realized that it was okay to like unicorns, apparently. Because I guess in my younger, more tomboy brain, it was unicorns are bad because there are girl things, and girl things are bad, which is total bullshit. Like, when I was little, purple was my favorite color, and then I decided I can't like purple, ever, because that's a girl color. Liking girl colors, it's just not cool, And so I decided I would never like purple again, which has affected me because now purple is like my least favorite color. But pink is my favorite color now, so I got past that. So here I'm just laying down the flat colors, and I am a heathen, and I hate having multiple layers, so I just do all the colors on one layer and kind of do a painterly thing, but not really. So I laid down the pink, blue! For loving colors so much, I seem to not be able to remember the names when I need to. Okay, I'm laying down the colors and I'm drawing over with the local color, local color, grass is green, blah blah, and then working in the color schemes together. And I really wanted the pastel sort of color scheme, as I mentioned earlier. And I really love when the primary colors are used really well. So it's like a very soft pastel red, which is pretty much pink, pastel red. And a blue and a yellow, and that's what I decided to go with her. I changed around the colors a bit from the initial sketch because, I can do that. And also, I still hadn't looked at the sketch page at this time, and so I was going off approximate memory instead of, reference and research, which is very important as an artist, and I am not a good example here. Hopefully in future videos I'll actually, be able to set a good example for others instead of being a disaster and having a process that is not really having a process and more whatever I really feel like at that time. But right now I'm mostly trying to get back into drawing and art again as a regular thing because I've had a lot of stuff happen and I really need to get back in the habit. And so when I was making this picture, besides feeling the pressure of being recorded, which is something I'm going to have to get past, but I'm still not there yet. I was just focusing on doing my best to just have a good time while making this piece and not worry too much. And I just wanted to see if I could express that joy and just the freedom of just drawing whatever I want. And if what I want to draw is a cute girl jumping with her alicorn features, that's what I'm gonna do. And hopefully my future videos will be like that too, and I will be able to start loving my art more, and that's my goal. So I started shading with red because I wanted the picture to have a warm feel to it, but as I was going I realized it wasn't quite working, so I decided to mess around with the layers and made it an overlay layer, and it just popped for me, and so I decided to just run with it, go in that direction. And I think it really added a little extra character to the colors. And so I went in back with a blue shadows and made that work. Now, of course, I spent this whole time telling myself, well, I can just clean that up later, and just being messy and not bothering to really go fully inside the lines or any of that stuff. And every step of the way, I just kept telling myself that I didn't need to clean it yet. Now I've hit near the end of the illustration and it needs to be clean. So I spend a good time cleaning up the edges and making sure things work, and really taking a moment to step back and say, hey, maybe I need to change this, or the center area of the drawing doesn't look good, or, well, I lied, I asked my friend and she said it didn't look good. So make sure to ask people for advice because you'll miss things. I end up putting in a background that I hadn't really quite planned for. I was initially thinking I could just get away with a flat color in the background, but as I was cycling through the colors, I just realized it needed something a bit more, and it needed a bit of atmosphere. So I put her in the atmosphere. And I wanted it to have that kind of childish, fairy, stardust dreams, so I had her above the clouds and with all these beautiful sprinkles of stars around her. I just wanted to make it look like she was having a fun time, and whoever looks at this picture just has a fun time and just gets a little sliver of joy from it. There's so many things I could complain about this drawing. There's so many bad things I can say, and so many things I can do to tear myself down. And some of you may already think I did a lot of that already, but it was a lot of me trying to talk about the good stuff that I could see while I was drawing this, and figuring out how to like my art again. And I'm not satisfied with how this picture turned out, but I'm hoping some of you guys are, and hopefully some of that satisfaction will give me some satisfaction. And even if that's not true, I'm hoping I can go further and give myself that and work towards the satisfaction I need with my art, and become the type of artist that I want to be, and the type of artist I can be proud of. And it's gonna be hard, and I'm going to want to jump full in and do everything at once and be Superwoman, which I'm not, and I need to remind myself to take things one step at a time. And if you're a beginner, or you're an artist, or you're struggling, or whatever, just remind yourself it's okay just to take baby steps, and like not coddle yourself or never improve, but to just be nice to yourself. The world teaches us to be so mean all the time, and even if you're nice to others, it's so easy to talk down on yourself and not be the kind person you deserve to be and you deserve to be treated as. And so that's what my pastel alicorn girl is. She's my step, and hopefully I'm going to be making a lot more steps after this. And even if I'm not entirely satisfied with the final outcome, I'm going to be satisfied with the progression that she's made me have. Oh yeah, like and subscribe if you can, and I haven't decided on a name for her yet, so if you have any suggestions, let me know down in the comments.